All right, what's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, welcome back. I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, so Tipsy Tuesday, we are going to be getting into it. Tonight's topic, I am going to be sharing with you my unpopular opinion, giving you some hot takes on some things that might be a little bit controversial or go against what most people might deem as normal. Okay. Now, just as a heads up, y'all, I'm still having technical difficulties. The internet has been really, really spotty since we've had the hurricane and everything. So hopefully we will stay connected and everything. So just want to give you a heads up. The internet has been kind of like in and out, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to maintain on today. But before we get into it, y'all, let me go ahead and do my social media checks, make sure we're good on all fronts, and then I'm going to be sharing with you some of my unpopular opinions. All right, so we are good there. And let me check one other spot. As always, I hope everyone has been having a wonderful week. Hopefully, it's off to a good start and things are going well. This week has definitely been a lot better for me, been more focused and everything. All right, so I am good there. Okay, so if this is your first time tuning in to Tipsy Tuesday, basically what we do is I share some tips as we take some sips. And your girl is sipping on water this evening, trying to get back on track before I get off track again since the holidays are about to come around. So that's all I'm sipping on. You don't have to sip on anything alcoholic, okay? Now, as always, I always ask that if you enjoy the content, or I try to remember to ask this, if you enjoy the content, if you like what you're seeing, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend. I definitely would appreciate it, okay? Now, I don't have that many church announcements, but for Tipsy Tuesday, we do have a Tipsy Tuesday song. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Tipsy Tuesday song. Once I do that, that is your official welcome and introduction to Tipsy Tuesday. All right. So here we go. Tipsy Tuesday. Tipsy Tuesday. Tipsy Tuesday. Get your tips and pass the dues. Say Tipsy Tuesday. All right. So now that you have been officially welcome into Tipsy Tuesday, a couple of church announcements. First and foremost, you're going to be hearing this church announcement from me for the next couple of weeks. And that is get out and vote, okay? If you can vote early, go ahead and vote early, but make sure you exercise your right to vote, okay? So the election is coming up in just a couple of weeks, November the 5th. So get out there, make sure you have a plan for how you want to vote. Check out the Tipsy Tuesday video from a couple of weeks back or a few weeks back or so, where it talks about how you can create a voting plan to make sure nothing goes awry on the day that you decide to go vote. But if you can vote early, definitely do that. Go out, exercise your right to vote. As y'all already know, this is a key election time and your voice definitely needs to be heard. Also, other church announcement, I did Side Hustle Saturday on this past Saturday. So be sure to check out that video if you have not already done so, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get into tonight's topic. Let me make sure though, I always forget, make sure I don't have any comments or anything like that. But I will say this. So tonight we're going to be talking about my unpopular opinion or a hot take or whatever. So let me know what is your unpopular opinion that you might have. And no, y'all, I'm not going to be talking about how Samsung is better than Apple, even though it is. I know I know that's an unpopular opinion. I ain't going to go in on y'all today. I'm going to give y'all a break. We're not going to be talking about that. I'm not going to talk about how Facebook Facebook is better than Instagram, or how Tupac is better than Biggie, or anything like that. I'm gonna let that stuff kind of breathe. I'm gonna leave it alone. All right, but what I am going to talk about are some things that affect you on a day-to-day basis, things that affect me on a day-to-day basis as well, still affecting me and affect a lot of people that I talk to, as well as more specifically young people that I talk to. And my unpopular opinion is y'all need to stop telling people that they need to go to college. Like, stop. Stop. Everybody is not meant to go to college. Everybody does not need to be going to college. And I feel like in our society, especially when I was growing up, everyone was saying, you need to go to college. You need to go to college. Now, I always say this. I'm not always for college, but that does not mean that I'm not for an education. I'm definitely for education. How you get that education does not necessarily have to be through the route of college, okay? So, and I know this is an unpopular opinion too, and it might be blasphemy for me to say, just because I know, with me being a person of color, a Black person, that many people fought, died for us to have education, to have equal rights and stuff like that. So I get it. I get why they say you need to go to college, and why they are proponents of education. Well, proponents of college, or so to speak. But I think we really got it mixed up. It's not so much college, it's education that people need. People need education. They don't necessarily need college, because right now college is getting a lot of people in a lot of debt, and they're getting them degrees that they're not able to use because they thought they were going to be able to do one thing with this thing, and now they're not, and now they're in a totally different field. And that's not to say they wasted their college education, but they're not really using the degree that they went to school with. Now, did I go to college? Yes, I did go to college. Am I appreciative of my college experience? Yes, I am. But I also realized college is not for everyone. And I also would have possibly, I won't say possibly, I probably would have went about my college experience differently. Now, I say all this too, because currently my daughter, she is a senior in high school. So we are going through the college experience with her, okay? But my daughter knows, for the job that she wants to do, she wants to be a real estate agent. She does not need to go to college. And if she told me that she did not want to go to college, I actually would not be upset with her about it at all, as long as she has a plan. So if she had a plan to say, hey, mommy, I'm not going to college. I'm going to go ahead and take my real estate exam, and then I'm going to do X, Y, and Z and try and get into, a brokerage and sell homes and stuff like that, then I would have been totally fine with that. So if she didn't go to college, now you do need to have a plan. I will say that. So if you're not going to college, have a plan. But a lot of people enter into college without a plan. So no matter if you go to college or you don't go to college, you need to have a plan for what you want to do in your life. And that's why I say college is not for everyone, because we're pushing these young people, these people who are 17, 18 years old, who don't really know what they want to do with their life, asking them to take on debt that is burdening them down for years after they might graduate, or some of them don't graduate or they don't finish. It's just at such a young age to make such big decisions, and not really, if you don't really know what you want to do. I find that it might be better if you take a year off, explore some different things, look into the military, look into some other career fields that you might be interested in, but stop telling people to go to college. Another reason why I won't say I'm not a proponent of college, because like I said, I'm a proponent of education. I'm big on getting your education. How you get that education does not necessarily have to be through college. You can go through the military, and they can teach you skills and pay you on the job training as you're learning. I mean, it is risky. You're risking your life. You might have to go and fight or something like that. But go into the military, go to a trade school, go to a community college to see, is this even something I want to do? But stop pushing these people especially into going into a 4-year institution and they don't even know their major. And here's the thing, people will say you need to go to college for life experience. My thing is, life gonna give you experience regardless. If you go to if you go to college or not, just keep living. You will get some life experience. Okay, college does not have to be the teacher of your life experiences. Trust me. Trust me. Get a regular job. Get a little you know, minimum wage job. You're gonna learn a lot of life lessons that way. Just from living. Okay, so it is a experience, but I think what people are missing is that some people it's are not having the experience that you might have had or whatever. You might have had a good experience. You might have been able to form, different lifelong relationships, friendships, things of that nature. Got exposed to different organizations, leadership organizations, things like that from going to college. But the same thing can happen if you get involved in your community, staying at home, working a job, whatever. Life is going to life, like they say, life be lifing. So you're going to get life experiences whether you go to college or not. Okay. People say you got to learn how to live with the roommate. Trust me, if you work in a little minimum wage job and you try to move out on your own, chances are you're going to have a roommate. Chances are you're going to get that experience regardless. So I don't like when people say, well, they need to have that experience. They need to learn how to grow up and stuff like that. That's not good. That's a very expensive experience. If they don't graduate with a degree, or if they graduate with a degree that they ultimately do not end up using. So stop telling people to go to college. And we have normalized it so much that when I talk to young people, it's almost like they're scared to say something else other than that they want to go to college. Because if they tell me that, I'm going to ask them other questions and stuff like that. Like, okay, what college are you thinking about going to? Oh, I haven't even applied yet. Now, mind you, it's like April or May of the year. Like, I haven't applied, or they might say, I don't know what my major is, which is okay. You could be undecided, but not having any clue whatsoever, which tells me someone else put this idea in this young person's head that what they needed to do, the next best step once you graduated from high school, is to go to college, but they have no clue, no idea what that really means, what that is really going to entail, and what they ultimately need to be working towards or doing. So if you want to tell a young person, well, first of all, like I said, stop telling people to go to college. And if you're not going to do that, if you want to tell them to go to college, make sure you give them some guidelines, some parameters, some things that they need to be thinking about so that they can go in there with a little bit of education and be a little bit prepared. Like I said, I'm big on education. So stop blanketly telling people to go to college without giving them any education about what they should be looking to get out of the college experience. Yes, statistics show that if you have a college degree, you tend to make more money than someone who does not have a college degree. But I also say it's not about what you make, it's more about what you take. And what I mean by that is like what you take home. If you're making a lot of money, but you're not taking home a lot of money because most of it is going out to pay different bills, to pay those student loans back, it doesn't matter that you make more. You're still living paycheck to paycheck, just like somebody else who did not go to college and didn't incur student loan debt or whatever. So yes, you can potentially make more money than someone, or you are more likely to make more money than someone who did not go to college. But I haven't seen a statistic that says because you went to college, these people are taking home more money, like keeping more money in their pocket. And someone can correct me if I'm wrong. If there is a study or a statistic out there that shows that, having that college degree, you're actually able to keep more money. But yeah, stop telling people to go to college. if they don't have a plan. I'm so over that. And also, here's another reason why I say that saying that to everybody is kind of outdated. Well, I won't say outdated, but it's not always appropriate. When I went to college, like my daughter is going to college now. Last time I went to college was almost what, 25 years ago, and 20 years roughly since I graduated from college or whatever. Things are different. Okay, things are definitely different. So you going off of some 20 to 25-year information from when you went to school, and you giving it to these people now. Like, things have changed. The cost of tuition has changed. The way things operate have changed. Even some of the jobs that were available when I was in school and what people were going to school for, them, they're not even available now. Like, so many things, so many different parameters have changed. So you're going off of old information. And when it was time for me to go to college, my parents were giving me the information they had, which once again was 20-year-old information. Because when my parents went to college, yes, there was a time if all you had to do was go to college, and because of that, you got a good job. That's not the case anymore, because everybody was saying that. Like, you need to go to college, and once you go to college, you're going to get a good job. That situation has changed. It has changed drastically and dramatically. Okay. So it's not that even though college students or college graduates make more money, you're not guaranteed to get a good job, even a job in your field, even, and what is the definition of a good job, or even a high paying job. So things are so much different. Also, I hate to say it, but colleges are taking advantage of young people who do not know what they want to do, and being able to provide them with all kinds of student loans. Now, there is a limit on how much student loans you can take out in your undergrad. But once you go to graduate school, which is what some people do when they're like, oh, well, I got this degree, now I can't really use it. Let me go back to school and get another degree, which comes with even more debt and stuff like that, thinking that they're going to get a higher paying job. Now, please don't misconstrue it to say that just because everyone who went back to school to get a higher paying job, a higher degree, didn't get a higher paying job. That's not the case. I know a lot of people go back and they do very well and everything, but just be careful of that messaging that you're sending to everybody. It should not be a blanket statement for everyone. Okay. Education, like I said, education is very, very important, but how you get that education does not necessarily have to be through the route of college. So I hope that makes sense. That is my unpopular opinion regarding that. Let me take a sip. Let me see. I've been talking for a long time. All right, so let me check these comments real quick. What's up, April? She says, hello, all. What's up, cousin? Heaven Sent says, I'm glad somebody said it. Thank you. And then, what's up, Belford? I haven't seen you in a while, brother. Let's see. It says, more than 80% of the people I know with degrees are not operating in the degree. And so many of the young people I meet in college have no plans of what they're going to do after college. Thank you, Belford. Yes, and that's what I'm talking about. It's like we're sending them on this mission to get this thing, and they don't even know what they're going after or what's the purpose. All they know is that they're following this instruction that someone told them, and the instructions, and people are well-meaning and well-intending, because like I said, when my parents were growing up, they knew, go to college, you're going to get a good paying job. So they're just going off of the knowledge that they had. But like I said, it's 20-year-old knowledge. You got to check the environment and see if it still applies for the time and the situation that you're in currently. And we got to stop with that messaging, because things are so much different. And also, like I said, it's so many jobs that are not available when I was going to college. But I also failed to mention there are also so many jobs, new jobs, job creation that is available now that was not, talked about or available to everyone now. Case in point, YouTube. Like, I don't know when YouTube came out, but but you could be a YouTuber. Like, people are legit making money on YouTube, vlogging, different things like that, being content creators, content or digital marketing. Like, yes, there was marketing degrees out there, print marketing, but if you went into marketing for print, like, nobody does newspaper anymore, hardly. Like, you would not have a successful career if your marketing was for, like, if you went to school for like newspaper marketing or print marketing and stuff like that. Newspapers, magazines, yes, they are still around, but on a limited basis, not how they were 20 years ago. Now everything is digital, and, well, I won't say everything, but majority of things are digital and online, and people are learning how to market that way. The internet was started taking off. Like, once when I entered college, we never could imagine, how it has evolved and become today. Now, with my daughter entering school, AI is taking off. And actually, when we went to one of the college fairs and we were talking to the communications department, because one of the things she might minor in is like in communications, or she's considering it. I was like, well, do y'all have classes for AI? Because that is the new wave of the future. And I want to make sure like they're staying on trend and on topic to be teaching the kids about this. Because if they're teaching them something that happened, a few years ago, and they're not ready to enter that AI space because it's taking over, and it's taking over rapidly, you need to be adept as well as equipped to be able to meet the changing times and the changing situation. So, yes, thank you for that statistic. You need to have, if they're going to college, they need to have a plan. Also, too, and I've shared this with you guys before, a lot of people, even people I grew up with and stuff like that, they went to college not knowing what all it took for them to do the job that they wanted to go to school for. Like, I already knew in order for me to be an optometrist, yeah, I need to have a 4-year degree, and then I would need to go to optometry school. I've shared this story with you guys before on here. While I chose the college that I chose, because it was one of the colleges that had what was called a pre-optometry degree, which is why I say there are colleges like taking advantage of students or using like fancy words and different marketing things to draw people in. So the school I attended, they had a pre-optometry degree. Now I'm in like my junior year of college, and I realized I don't have the requirements to be able to go to optometry school. Now, I do have the requirements to graduate from this university, but I don't have the requirements if I wanted to enter into optometry school. So I had to find that out on my own by doing my own research as I started looking into optometry schools and seeing what their prerequisites were. And like it was like 3 classes that I needed. 3 classes is a lot, especially when you take, like, my major is like science major. So, those classes are weighted like four credits or whatever. So it's like you only can take like four classes a semester, so to speak. So there were 3 classes that I needed to take. And one of them was a cumulative class. So one of them was like, I needed physics 101, and then I need physics 102. So it's like, I can't take the class. You can't take those at the same time because you got to take one before you can take the other. And one of them was another like science class. I want to say like, I don't know, some kind of chemistry class, or like biochemistry. I don't know. It was something like that. So thankfully I found that out. And then also too, with the science classes, some of them require you to have certain prerequisites before you can even take this particular science class. But thankfully I found out in like my junior year and was able to take the required classes. But because I had to take physics 101 and then physics 102, that's a whole year. Okay. Imagine if I found that out my senior year. I could have been delayed from going from not graduating, because I would have graduated with my degree, but I would have been delayed from applying to optometry school for like a year because I didn't have those prerequisites and I would have had to take those classes. So that's what I mean. Some of these schools are just saying they offer stuff, saying that they have different majors, but really investigate their department, see what they have that they're offering, make sure these classes are, up to standard, or I won't say reputable, but make sure you're getting a good quality education that will be able to be, you can be able to utilize when you actually graduate or get into the workforce. But I said all that to say, I know people that I went to school with went to college not realizing, in order for me to do this particular profession, I can't just have a 4-year degree. It actually requires me to have a master's degree, or it might require me to have a doctorate's degree. And they're thinking that with their bachelor's degree that they can just go and do this. And then once they graduate, they realize that is not the case. And some people may be, taking on all this student loan debt, or just barely being able to afford college, that 4-year degree, only to find out now I got to go back to school and accumulate more debt in order to even be eligible for the actual career field that I want to get into. And that's why I say, I think that's why a lot of people are not utilizing the degree that they have, or they find out like this is not something that they want to do. It's just a lot of stuff. I will say this, with me having my own business and having employees or interviewing people to work, I see tons of people. I won't say tons, but you get what I'm saying, because I don't want to be like really exaggerating. But I see a lot of people that I'm interviewing who have 4-year degrees, college degrees, not working in their field of study. Now, why is that the case? I don't know. Maybe they didn't like it. Maybe there weren't enough jobs in that particular field. Maybe you like I mentioned, maybe you needed more education to be able to go that route. I don't know. But a lot of them are not utilizing their particular degree in that field, and they're having to find jobs, careers in other areas instead. All right. Okay. So that was enough about that. I talked a long time about college, but I'm very passionate about that. Like I said, don't get me wrong. I'm very, very big on education. I feel like you should be a lifelong learner, and don't think college is going to teach you everything you need to know. You should always be continually learning, trying to grow, trying to develop. So I'm big on education. So I'm not trying to, downplay education or anything like that. My mom was a teacher and all that. So I'm not trying to downplay education, but the educational system, even with the K through 12, is it's a little janky sometimes, as well as the college system. And at least with the K through 12, I can get at a pass because it's free. Most of it is public education, so it's free. But when it comes to people spending their money going to college, I can't sit by and just let any and everybody keep telling people go to college, go to college, go to college, and these people are not even ready, and they're going to have a whole bunch of student loan debts. I cannot do that. Now, I was not planning on talking that long about that, but but it kind of leads me into the next unpopular opinion that I have is that, which kind of ties in with the college thing, is that I feel like you need to have soft skills more so than hard skills. So what I mean by that, soft skills are those kinds of skills where you know how to talk to people, you know how to interact with people, like you know how to hold a conversation, you're personable, you can read behavior, you're polite, just social graces and social etiquette. Those are those soft skills versus hard skills. Those are skills you typically learn in school, like, hey, you are going to be a chemist, so you need to know all these different formulas and that kind of stuff in order to be able to do your job. But soft skills will take you very, very far, okay? And soft skills are what people, I feel like especially me as an employer, and I know other employers probably look at, because you can be really good at your job, but if you don't know how to talk to people, they might not keep you around very very long, okay? Or they might have to keep you in the back, or you might not get a promotion as quickly as you want to, or a raise as quickly as you want to, because you're lacking those social graces, those soft skills that you need in order to survive in society, okay? And those skills go way back to like caveman times. Like, you have to be able to get along with people in order to survive, or they're gonna knock you behind out and kill you. So soft skills are definitely, I hold them in higher regard. I am definitely able, if you are lacking in knowledge, if you are lacking in a certain skill, but you have a good attitude, you have a good personality, you're coachable, you're willing to learn, I can work with that. Versus somebody who knows everything from A to Z, but they're just rude as heck. Think they know everything, arrogant, that kind of thing. I don't want to deal with those kind of people, okay? So we teach, going back to school, we teach the kids how to do all this stuff. And I will say this, I know it starts at home, but I remember when I was in school, you had to say please, you had to say thank you had to say yes ma'am, no ma'am, just those simple things. They're just very simple, but they make a big difference. It's called being polite, being kind. Yeah, the kid could be smart as I don't know what, but they just rude. They lack social graces, which is not going to serve them well once they get out in the real world and have to interact with an employer, or have to interact with their coworkers and get along with one another, which is why I think we have some of the issues we do today. So that's my take on the soft skills. Y'all let me know what you think. Are soft skills better than hard skills, or do you feel like you need to have the hard skills and you can work on the soft skills? I don't know. I think it's the opposite. So y'all let me know. And then I got one more that I'm going to do. Y'all, I'm doing good on my time. I told y'all I'm going to try and only hold y'all no more than 45 minutes, like 30 to 45 minutes. That is my goal. So I think I'm going to be able to hit that. But let me see. I see Belfort has a comment. He says, to be fair, I'm a huge advocate of college and love my time. Just want to make sure it's proper placement. Yes. So I appreciate your perspective, Belfort. I really do. I can't say that I'm an advocate for college, just because I've seen too many I've seen too many people just blindly going, and I won't say messing up their life, but just wasting money. And given what happened to me, like with me getting my 4-year degree, it's like, imagine if somebody not as educated as I was, or who didn't know to look into this. I was like, imagine how many other people are becoming susceptible to something like this and not able to continue in their desired career field. So that's why I say I'm big on education. And I think we have, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it's almost like we have defaulted to thinking that the educational system, whether that's public school system, K through 12, or college, is going to teach our kids everything they need to know in order to thrive and succeed in life. And that is not the case. And like I said, I think we just kind of said, hey, if you go to college, you're going to be good. And come to find out, these colleges aren't doing what they're supposed to. They're not doing right by these kids. They're not giving them the proper education or foundation for them to be able to do well. So it's like, you got to do your own due diligence. You got to do your own research. Don't just think because you went to college, then you're going to have all the skills you need, or that they taught you everything that you need in order to be able to go on and get this job. And I think that's what a lot of the messaging, when we tell kids to go to college, go to college, go to college, they think that's the end all be all, not realizing you got to be an advocate. Like how you are an advocate for college, you got to be an advocate for yourself. You got to be an advocate for your own education and stay on top of those people's necks to make sure you're getting the education that you're supposed to. But if you don't have that drive, or you don't even have that knowledge to know to do that, then I won't say you'll be taken advantage of, but you can get lost in the sauce and get caught up in the whole system. All right. And then Belfer also says, because who want to talk to and work with somebody that got got a nasty attitude? That's right. Like, you gotta have some soft skills. You gotta be able to get along. And going back to the college thing, I think that's when people say you need to go to college for the experience. I think that's the experience that they want people to get, so that they can get along with people and stuff like that. But like I said, life can teach you a lot of lessons on its own without you having an expensive college bill. And then April says, if you are amazing at lying on a resume and good at interviewing, you might not need college for a high paying job. Oh, you sure don't. Y'all, trust me. You ain't even got to lie on a resume, or you ain't even got to be good at interview. I know places around here where, as long as you know someone, you can get a good job. And when I say know someone, like, have a friend, family member, something like that, who just vouches for you, and you don't have to have any skills. You could be coming from working at Dollar General, and not knocking Dollar General. I used to work at Dollar General myself, but you could be coming working from Dollar General, making minimum wage, and now all of a sudden you're making $25 an hour because Susie said that you were her friend and she put you on, and now you done gotten this job where and you don't have no kind of experience. But there are certain, now that doesn't always happen for people like that look like me. We usually have to show and prove a little bit more before they would just bring us on like that. But I know situations where, they don't know Adam from Eve, and now they done got this job just because Susie done said that's her friend, and our job is, our office or our place of employment is hiring. Come on down. I done seen it happen way too many times. Now, like I said, for people who look like me, maybe we got to lie on the resume and be really charismatic and good at interviewing to get the job. But also, here's the thing, and I'm gonna mention this about the soft skills, and then I have one other thing that I'm gonna try and hurry up and hit on. Look at, Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs. I don't know Bezos, if he dropped out of college, but these people who drop out of college and still do well, because they already know, like, college is I don't say an incubator, but it only is going to give you so much. If you really want to do well, be successful, you got to think outside of the box and try and make something for yourself. And we keep telling our kids, and when I say we, a lot of Black and brown people are telling our children that college is the way to go. And the game has been changed. Like, it's been changed. Once they started realizing they can make a whole bunch of money off of this college experience and stuff like that, it's like we're already years behind. So, and that's with a lot of things. It's like, once we figure out the game, they change the rules of the game. So now we got to jump through a whole different hurdle, and we still are behind from what other people started with and everything. So yeah. And that's why I said we got to stop that messaging to our children, or at least add something else to it, so that they'll know, like, don't think this is your end all be all. Yes, it can be college can be a very, very, very rewarding experience. And when I say rewarding, I'm not just talking about just life experiences, but I'm talking about educationally wise. It can be a very rewarding experience, but at the same time, you got to do your work. And I'm going to say this too, because this is actually what one of the people we were talking to when we did one of the college tours with our daughter, she was saying they were saying, and this is like one of the recruiters, it's not even good enough for you to have good grades and want to be trying to go to college. Yes, they look favorably on that, but they are looking at a well-rounded individual. And she was saying that her students that do well and go on to get like good jobs, it's like they did more than just come to class and get good grades. They got involved. They did different projects. Did internships. They got experience and stuff like that. They had something to show. And so just going to school, getting good grades, going to class is not enough, because when it comes time to getting a job, yes, you can have a 4.0 GPA, all that kind of stuff. But if you're lacking the job experience, you're going to be overlooked for that person who was warm and bubbly, did a summer internship in Spain and met up with this particular person. Now they are connected to this person who is the VP of their company or whatever. And because they're connected to the VP, now they put you onto this and they told you about this particular opportunity and stuff like that. So it's all about networking and making those connections while you're in school, as well as you can do the same thing in life. So just be mindful of that. What's up, young speaker? Good to see you. And she says Mark Zuckerberg went to Ivy League. Yes. And also, young speaker says, and that network is strong. Yes. So that's what you also want to. Well, I'm realizing too, as we're going through the college experience with my daughter as well. You want to make sure too what school that they go to, they have a good alumni association so that you can make some some connections. So look at the previous graduates of that particular college or university. Also look at the previous graduates that are more so in your particular field of study. So you can see what connections you can make, as well as seeing what jobs they have and stuff like that. And how I won't say how often they come back to the school, but just seeing, okay, they got placed at this Fortune 500 company, or they got placed at this Fortune 100 company, something like that. You want to be looking to see what kind of connections are possible just from the alumni network, because more than what you will find out, and I'm sure most of y'all will vouch for this, it is not what you know, but it's who you know. In a lot of instances that get you into places, just like in the example where I was saying, like some people, I know plenty of people who don't have any experience, but just because their friend was working at this particular place, now they getting this high paying job because their friend put them on and they had no experience. Trust me, it's happened. It's happened a lot. And yeah. We just got to be mindful of that. All right, let's see. And then I'm going to do the last thing. Belfer says, I have definitely hired leaders with high school diplomas who had great work ethic and drive over college graduates who seemed to feel they were entitled to it. Ooh, yes. Yeah. That hurts. Like, you got to put the work in. If you're not willing to work, or you just think just because I got these good grades and stuff like that, then like I tell my kids all the time. And even the my therapy patients, my therapy students that I work with, I'm like, these grades, even when I'm testing them, I said, my tests don't mean anything. I said, is whether or not you can apply it in the real world. That's really going to matter. I said, you're not going to see my test again. I said, once you finish this therapy program, you're probably not going to see any of these tests that we're doing. But the real success for me is you taking the skills that this test provides, or that the test is assessing, and being able to apply it in the real world. Because after you get out of college, ain't nobody giving you no grade. Like, you don't get no grades no more. You get hired and fired, okay? Yes, you get written up because if you didn't do something right, but they ain't gonna give you no grade. Or if you do get a quote unquote grade, an employee review or evaluation or something like that, it is gonna be determining your money, okay? Oh, you did this, or you had this many write-ups, or you were late this many times. So because of that, you are not going to get this raise, or you are now put on probation, and you have 30 days to improve before we terminate your particular position. Okay. Nobody cares about grades after college. Nobody cares about grades. So it don't matter. It don't matter. It's like, do you have the skills necessary to do your job? Can you do your job well? And can you also be a good employee and co-worker to the people that you are working with? Okay. All right. And then hubby's talking about you're fired. No grade. All right. All right, y'all. The last thing I'm gonna mention, and I'm a big advocate for that. I'm trying to figure out how we can change this. If y'all have any ideas, let me know. Unpopular opinion, or it might be popular. I don't think we need to be working no 8 hours a day. I don't think we need to be working that long. That's too long to be working. I say 3-4 hours a day tops, 4 hours tops, because that's all I'm really good for. 4 hours a day tops. And then we should be able to leave, okay? We should be done. We be there 8 hours to make stuff convenient for people who want to come in and do stuff and all this kind of stuff. But at the same time, I think we should just switch shifts and stuff, and maybe, I don't know. But 8 hours a day, I'm not productive a whole 8 hours a day. I am good peak time, good like 2 to 3 hours. Now, don't get me wrong, because I don't want nobody to take this wrong way. If you came to see me, don't think that you're going to get poor treatment or something like that if you saw me at my office or whatever. I'm talking about more, and I'm talking about we need to change the society that you're supposed to be open like 9 to 5 to accommodate these people. No, I don't want to do that. But I'm talking about more so like when I'm working, like if I'm doing my admin stuff or whatever, where I'm working on different stuff for the office and not doing like patient interactions, I'm good for about 2 or 3 hours. And I can really knock out some stuff, hammer some stuff out. After that, I'm not very productive. And I know that about myself more so because after that time, like I'll work during my peak time, and those other times I'll do stuff that is what I call kind of like mindless, where I don't have to do a whole lot of thinking. It's more so kind of like automatic or like routine or something like that. Whether that's like me washing my clothes or like cleaning up the house or something like that, where I don't have to use a whole bunch of my brain power to be thinking and focus on stuff. 8 hours a day, we don't need. We don't need that. I'm actually going to look at other countries and see what their work schedule is. And also, I don't think that we need to be working 5 days a week and stuff. I think 3 or 4. That's good. 3 or 4. We need to switch up how society thinks and operates and stuff. And we don't need to be working this hard. We don't need to be working this hard. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do all this heavy lifting. I don't know. Y'all let me know. What y'all think? Or am I does that sound good, or am I just crazy? Like I know stuff needs to get done, but I don't think we need to be working like this. I really don't. I think that's why we stress and have like these health problems and stuff like that. We just working too much. But yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna look at these last comments, and y'all. I went over a little bit, so I'm gonna look at these last comments, and then I'm hopping off. I hope y'all enjoyed my unpopular opinions. Can let me know if you agree or disagree. April says, "I feel being fired is an F." It is an F. They just don't tell you like. Like you don't get grades no more, because by now you should be self-aware. Like you ain't doing good, and you know when you ain't doing a good job anyway. Like you coming in late to work, you barely working, you was rude to the customer, you told Miss Sally off and stuff. You're not gonna beat it. Like you knew you weren't doing a good job. All right. And Young Speaker says, agreed, 4-hour days are much better. Yes, I think we can accomplish everything we need to accomplish in 4 hours. And it'll be a very conducive and productive 4 hours. Young Speaker says, my best time it starts at 11 a.m. Before that, I don't want to talk. I feel you. I do better in the morning. So as long as I can get things done before 2, after about 2 o'clock, I'm not at my optimal performance. And then Belford says, I think as AI continues to build and evolve, the work week will probably reduce from 40 to closer to 25 to 30 hours. I hope so, but I don't know because, we kind of be crazy with it. And when I say crazy, it's like just like the internet was supposed to make like life easier, our jobs easier. All we did was take advantage of it and start using it even more and doing all this extra stuff that we don't need to be doing. So I'm hoping it will definitely improve it to reduce our work time. But it's almost like we as society have to shift our focus and our thinking because everything is literally, y'all, if you look at, I forget, like the different documentaries, everything is designed how they just, people were working, I want to say like, I don't know, almost every day. So everything is designed to feed the capitalism of America. And the only reason why they gave us like the weekend where we didn't have to work was so that we would have 2 days, well, really one day, to spend the money that we made back into the companies that just paid us. So it's like, okay, we're paying these workers this money for working in our factories and working in our businesses, but we need to recruit that. So let's give them 2 days off so that they'll feel good. And then they go out and spend. And guess what, y'all? We do it. Like we do it. Like y'all go out, we be living for the weekend. Like I can't wait till it's Friday. And then we go out on Friday and we spin and we hang out, we do all this stuff. We like they got us like in a rat race or what is it, like a cage, and we're just operating how they have designed for us to operate, which is we work these 5 days out of the week, we make the money because we so tired from working and upset that we had to work 5 days. We want to have a good time and treat ourselves, so then we go out and spend the money that we just made and then that forces us to have to come back next week to make some more money, so we'll have something to spend the next week or whatever. So it's just a vicious cycle that we are trapped in, as well as consumerism and capitalism keeps telling us that we need more and more and more and more and more and more and more. So then we want to get this nice car, these nice clothes, these nice shoes, whatever, nice home. So then we gotta keep working longer hours to be able to afford the stuff that we spent money on. Like, we need to just get back to the basics. That's what I'm saying. All right. And then April says, in Europe, they have siestas. 5-hour work days are a thing. Ooh, I need to go to Europe then, because I can't be working like this. I can't. I don't want to be working like this. This is not my life. This is not the life. Young Speaker says, soft life is a better life. I don't even think it's the soft. I think this is how life is supposed to be. Like, I think it's not supposed to be like this. And Belford says, if I get only 4 hours of work, I'm not getting much done. You gotta have focus work. You gotta have focus work, Belford. I think you could. Half the stuff don't even matter. That's my philosophy. Like, if it waited till the next day, did anybody die? Did anything bad happen? If it didn't, you could get it done in 4 hours. That's my philosophy. But don't get fired on account of me, Belford. April says, I'm sure AI will take over completely and we will return to farm life. I ain't built to be no farmer now. I might have a little garden, but I ain't trying to be no farmer with no animals and stuff. I don't know, April. I pray it don't get that rough. And then last one, and I'm gonna hop off. Young Speaker says, that's why I like not doing lifestyle creep and try to keep expenses the same when getting more money. That's right. Stay away from lifestyle creep. But yeah, so that is it. I'm gonna wrap it up because y'all, I was doing good on time, but now I'm over. But y'all let me know what are some of your unpopular opinions. Maybe I'll come back. Maybe when I come back, I'll tell y'all why Tupac is better than Biggie and why Samsung is better than Apple. All right, until next time, y'all take care, guys.